So I wasn't able to watch the first half, but I watched all the second of Oregon's game against Michigan. They lost 81-71. And they were actually up at the half. And I had some work things to do. And when I checked the score and saw that, my surprise was pretty palpable. I was just walking along, looking at my phone. I stopped walking. I thought the ESPN app was pulling a fast one on me. I thought there was a glitch somewhere. I'm sure we've all experienced that before. I thought it was wrong. Nope, wasn't. Oregon was beaten, top 5 Michigan at the half. And I thought that would be insane. Now, it didn't come to fruition because they were playing without Jackson Shellstad. They were playing without Nate Biddle, who's going to miss about a month or so. And then Altman has now said that Shellstad might miss the rest of the season. So I want to start with the positive. The positive is that although this team is the worst of Dana Altman's career in Eugene by far, that they took that Michigan team that could win a national championship and played a full 40 minutes of competitive basketball. I tell you what, they're having a bad year and they're not quitting. It'd be real that you're missing your 2 leading scorers, your 2 best players, your preseason All Big Ten selections. You're playing a top team, and you went out and gave him everything you had. And Sean Stewart gave him everything he had. And KJ Evans continues playing good basketball. Is he a perfect player? No. Is he a good one? Yes, absolutely. I hope he comes back for his senior season. But that might depend on what Dana Altman does. And this is just going to be a big part of my continued discussion about the basketball team on the men's side going forward. Kelly Graves lost a heartbreaker in double overtime to Wisconsin, but he's got the program going in the right direction. He bottomed out a couple years ago and now is on a big-time upward swing. Dana Altman is bottoming out this year. That's what's happening. Now, here's the interesting couple of angles for Rob Mullins, the athletic director. Number 1, you have not been to a Sweet 16 since the 2021 tournament. Haven't made it past the first weekend. Come close, haven't been able to do it. Bottom line. That's a mark against Dana Altman for the standard that he's set in his tenure. On the other side, for this year, it was already going south. It was already not good. Does Dana Altman get any cushion, any wiggle room when you factor in he's the best head coach in the history of the program? And now Jackson Shellstad and Nate Biddle are hurt. So the chance for a late season turnaround or push that could remind us that Dana Altman has still got it to some degree, that feels like it's gone out the window. This is now, if Shellstad's done for the year, it just feels like a lost season. Will I keep watching and talking about the games? Yeah. Why? Number 1, to see if I still think Dana Altman can coach. And number 2, to see which guys I'd want or not want to bring back to the roster next year. And by the way, don't know if he has any eligibility. I actually want to check on that real quick. Takai Simpkins, he's a senior. 37. Yeah, no, I think he'd have to get a Diego Pavia rule because his first season was at Northwest Florida State College. But he's played 3 legit seasons of basketball. If he could get another year of eligibility, Takai Simpkins can play for Oregon anytime, as far as I'm concerned. He keeps getting better and better. Dude works hard, needs to be better protecting the ball 100%. But this question came across my array of mailbag notes. Is it time for Altman to be done? Had a good run, but can't be consistently good / top 25. Last year was the first in a long time. Second mailbag, what do you think the NIL budget looks like when Phil passes? Do you think there's a trust? That's a question for football and basketball. But I cannot imagine that in Phil Knight's will, there is not something to set up Oregon to continue to be well off financially there. I'd be pretty shocked. I haven't read it or seen it or talked to someone who has. I'd be pretty shocked. So I'm not really worried about that. But on the Altman question, Rob Mullins has to look at this year for what it was clearly going to be, not for what it has and will become. Because now you're navigating playing without Shellstad and Biddle. And in the back of your mind, does Rob Mullins say, well, you could bring Shellstad and Evans back for one more year. You've got Taj Ariza, and if Dana Altman can go make the right transfer portal moves, yeah, they could put together a good team next year. If they somehow find, I don't know how they could possibly land Tyron Stokes, who's the number one player by some services in the class of 2026. If they did that, you have to bring Altman back because you've got the 5-star and Taj Ariza coming in, who's Trevor Ariza's son. If you have him and Stokes to go with Shellstad and Evans, you can fill out the rest of the roster, but you got a squad now, and you do have to give that a chance. I think that is a legitimate consideration, though. But if you're Rob Mullins, you can't look at the rest of the year and give Dana Altman a pass. You have to say, okay, I saw what this season was going towards. Off of back-to-back appearances in the round of 32, which is not nothing, by the way. Takes a lot of work, and you got to win a lot of games 2 years in a row to wind up in the round of 32. Though the first time they got there, it was definitely flawed. They got hot at the end. Was it really a great team? No. Last year was a great team. To go from a great team to this year, staggering fall off. I thought there'd be some regression. I didn't think it would be this bad. But is Rob Mullins going to look at it that way? Is he going to see it as this year was going so poor and it's not going well, and I don't feel like Altman's got it, and there's so many whiffs, and yeah, is it that? Or is this the bottoming out year as Kelly Graves had on the women's side, and he's now rebuilt this stuff? Because the same sorts of conversations and comments were made about Kelly Graves when they lost 14 games. It was way worse than this. As bad as Oregon men's basketball is right now, the women's team at their lowest point was way worse than what this season's going to be. Guarantee you it was worse. He stuck with him. So I understand those who say, it's time for Altman to move on and whatnot. I'd say best guess, his seat is slightly above room temperature, and I think the Shellstad and Biddle, I don't know that they should, but I could see Rob Mullins talking himself into, well, he lost Shellstad and Bill. We got to give him another chance for that. Is that the right way to approach it? No. But more foolish mistakes have been made before than that. So that's where I think the team is at. Or where the program is at, rather. Best guess right now, when the season tips off in October, November 2026, usually early November, Dana Altman will be the Oregon men's basketball coach. A lot can happen between now and then. But you get leeway, you get cushion when your two best players are out, and they're probably, Biddle's out at least a month, Shellstad might be out for the year, which stinks. So, yeah, let's end on that optimistic note. Appreciate everyone listening. See you next time. Until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and go Ducks.